Okay, get yourself ready for your evening restorative practice. So get your mat and a comfortable blanket over the top of that. I've got a big bath towel. And then have a bolster underneath your knees, a couple of blocks for your feet, and then a folded blanket for underneath your head. If you feel like you might be chilly, cover yourself with a blanket, because this is a practice of relaxation. And if you're not warm and comfortable, then you're not going to be able to relax. So cover yourself up if you need to. Cover your eyes if it's bright in your room and it's stopping you from relaxing. And then allow yourself to just gently release into the floor. So don't be in a rush to be in your relaxation posture. If you feel uncomfortable, then adjust the pose until you feel comfort. Just listen to the sound of your breath and enjoy the support of the floor. Enjoy the feeling of collapsing into the ground. Release into the floor and let go of the muscles of the arms and the legs. Consciously unhook your muscles from the bones. Enjoy the sensation of releasing into the ground. Draw your attention into the underside of your feet. Drawing your attention into the soles of the feet so that they tingle with consciousness. Draw your attention into the soles of the feet and consciously relax the soles of the feet, relax the muscles and the skin and the bones. Draw your attention to the tops of your feet. Again, so that the skin tingles with consciousness. And then allow the muscles of the top of the feet to spread like ink into blotting paper. Just distributing the surface tension and allowing the tops of the feet to completely relax. And draw your attention to the shins and the kneecaps. And then soften the thigh muscles. Soften the thighs. Soften the thighs and the shins, allowing the legs to completely soften into the ground. Allowing the legs to become light and full of air. Draw your attention into the pelvis and the abdomen. Draw your attention into the abdomen and the torso. Take a deep inhalation, allowing the chest to expand with the inhalation, and then sink consciously, letting go of the lower ribs with the out breath. Allowing the arms to become heavy, chest to sink into the ground, the lower back to sink into the ground. Soften the pelvis and the hips. Just allowing the body to completely release into the ground, softening the abdomen and the rib cage, softening the shoulders and the arms into the floor, the forearms and the wrists, the palms of the hands facing upwards. Soften the shoulders and the arms and the chest and the hips and the legs and the feet. Softening the neck and the throat. And allow the body to completely surrender. Soften the neck and the throat, and soften the skin around the skull. The skin around the skull and the muscles beneath the skin. Just allow the body to completely release into the ground. Spending a few moments just listening to the breath, enjoying the sensations of relaxation, just using this time to recuperate your energy. Okay, when you're ready to disturb yourself, just wriggle your toes, wriggle your fingers, bring yourself back into this pose of Shavasana. And bend your knees. Bend your knees, bring your feet onto the bolster, have your feet apart and your knees together. Just resting down on the floor. And then gently roll over onto your right side. Stay down for a breath or two. And then straighten out the top leg. Come back up into a seated position. And then just come into a good cross-leg position. Just observe your energy for a moment. Observe the sound of the breath. Observe how your energy has changed. Okay, we're going to stay with the bolster underneath our knees, but you can move the blocks out of the way and then get your blanket and unfold it once so that you've got this slightly wider kind of quarter fold, and then fold that down the long edge and then have that along the bolster. So that's going to go for your shoulders. Your shoulder blades are going to sit on there. So we can do the mountain pose, the mountain brook pose. So you come down onto the folded blanket. The shoulder blades are in the folded blanket. Make sure it feels straight. Bring your head onto the floor so the bolster is still underneath your knees, and then allow your arms just to rest down on the floor beyond your head. If there's stiffness in your shoulders, then you can put a block underneath your hands just to support your shoulders, but otherwise just allow the body to release into the floor. So as we progress into the sequence, I'll speak less and less so that you can just focus on relaxing rather than listening. Just as ever, if you're not comfortable, then adjust until you are. Feel that the armpits open. Feel that the head is supported by the floor. And then bring your arms just to rest on the lower ribs. Your hands on the lower ribs, resting the arms at the sides. Bend your knees and then roll over onto your side, and then bring yourself up into a seated position. Just observing your energy, observing how your energy has changed. Okay, we're going to do a little supported spinal twist. So get your bolster in front of you and then have your knees bent and then sit close up towards the bolster. You might want to raise your bolster up a little, so the blanket from the previous pose, you can put that over the top of the bolster if you want a bit more height. So you're going to lift the chest, you're going to drive the chest across so that it faces the bolster, and then you guide yourself down along the bolster and then let the head rest on your side. So just use whatever you need to be comfortable and warm. So use the blanket if you need it. Have your elbows wide enough apart so that you're not supporting your weight with your elbows, you're just draping over the bolster. So if that extra blanket over the top of the bolster feels too high, then remove it. Just use the bolster. So this just gives you space in the lower lumbar area. bring your hands underneath your shoulders and push yourself up into a seated position. Again, just observe your energy. And then sit the other way round. So sit with the other hip close to the bolster. Again, bend your knees. And then turn the chest to face the bolster. Bring the chest down along the bolster, resting your head in the same direction as your knees. And again, just let the elbows come apart. So this is one of my favourite poses. It's always really nice to just gently give the lower back a little space. Just relaxing into this really calming position. Okay, push your hands into the floor, push yourself up into a seated position, and then just come back into cross legs. Just observing again how your energy has changed. Okay, we're going to do the legs up the wall pose. So get your bolster close to a wall, and you might want a belt as well. If you've got a belt, then use a belt. If you don't have a belt, then don't worry, you can just do this without the belt. So put the belt into a loop, and you're just going to have that handy where you can reach. So you're going to sit on the bolster. So you sit on the bolster close to the wall. Don't have it too jammed into the wall because sometimes it can be difficult to get into it. So you're going to sit on the bolster, and then you rest your shoulders onto the floor, and then you roll onto your back. And then as you roll onto your back, you can just stretch your legs up the wall. Now at this stage, if you want to, you can slide the belt onto the legs and then just tie the legs gently together. You can have a blanket around your feet if you want them. We're just going to stretch the legs just up the wall, so be close enough into the wall so that you can have the seat bones against the wall if you can. Don't worry if you can't. And then just rest your arms over your head. Just rest your arms on the floor over your head. Try and be on the tops of your shoulders if possible. So if this doesn't feel comfortable for you, you can just go back into the basic relaxation pose we started off with. So this gentle inversion is a really useful pose for the immune system. It quietens a busy brain and it helps you to relax. Let the legs relax. If you've got the belt around the legs, then that can help to relax the legs. You don't want them too tight though. Okay, bend your knees. You can slip the belt off your knees if it's still around your knees. And then roll yourself over onto your side. Just bring the legs down to the floor. And then just very gently sit yourself up. And then without disturbing yourself too much, just grab the bolster for underneath your knees. Just for the last couple of minutes, have the bolster for underneath your knees. We'll just end in our basic relaxation pose. Have the folded blanket underneath your head. And then just guide yourself back down into our basic relaxation pose, just our Shavasana variation. And allow yourself to just completely relax into the floor. Let the muscles soften. And let the muscles come away from the bones, unhooking from the bones. Let the body become heavy. As you allow the body to become heavy, observe that feeling of irrepressible lightness that radiates from the bones, filling the muscles with the positive energy of your practice. Bones radiating positive energy into the muscles and into the organs. Radiating from the muscles and into the organs and into the flesh and the skin. Use your in-breath and your out-breath to distribute that feeling of energetic lightness down into the toes, into the fingertips, and up into the top of the head. Ready to disturb yourself, wriggle your toes, wriggle your fingers, bring your feet onto the bolster. Have the feet apart and the knees together. Just resting your lower back into the floor, just a gentle support for the lower back. And then roll onto your right side, just stay down for a breath or two. And then straighten out the top leg, come back up into a seated position. Just final cross legs with your hands in the masti. Final spinal lift. Be conscious of the energy that you've released through your practice this evening, that good, positive, healthy flow of clean energy that the relaxation poses bring to the body and to the mind. And then draw your chin down to meet your chest. Lift your chest up to meet your chin. Spend a moment to acknowledge the positive energy you've created inside. And then send some of that positive energy out into the world. To people, to places, to things that need our positive energy. And then release the backs of your hands down toward your knees, palms facing upwards. Bring the tip of the index finger together with the tip of the thumb. Just a gesture of wisdom, of physical intelligence and peacefulness that we can carry into the rest of our evening. And then raise your head, allow your eyes to softly open. And the focus to softly come back. Thank you very much. Thank you. So hopefully you feel as though you've given yourself a really good relaxation and you've got some good energy to put into your evening. So thank you very much for joining me.